Hi, I am Natalie Mosley-Klenotic. I am a best-selling author. But most importantly, the reason I am talking to you today is because I am a survivor. What exactly have I survived? I survived being abused in my childhood by my original bully, my narcissistic father. I was manipulated, I was baited, I was gaslit so much that I doubted myself internally. I still fight insecurities to this day. He was a master manipulator and would pit my family, my mother, and my sibling against me, so much so that I have no contact with any of them today. And it's ironic, I never walked out of their life. For all the atrocities and all of the terrible things I went through with all of them, I still remained vigilant in trying to have a relationship with them. But they abandoned me 14 years ago, walking out of my life. I was physically abused to the point that I had my ribs fractured as a 16-year-old, and we told no one. My mother did not champion me. She did not assist me. She did not protect me from the abuse that I suffered at my father's hands. He was an alcoholic. He was a narcissist with such aggressive and volatile tendencies that he was a vicious and angry man. I lived in a very scary home, but I did survive all of it. I survived it, and I met a young man as a teenager. I had never heard the words "I love you" uttered my way by my parents, my grandparents, or any aunt or uncle. No family member mentioned had ever hugged me, not once. We didn't have any kind of outward affection. We never discussed what we felt for one another. There was no emotion towards one another. We were opinionless shells. And when I met my boyfriend, I finally heard from his mouth that he loved me. He gave me my first hug. I had never even been hugged. He was such a nice young man that we ended up getting married, and he promised me that we would never have to return back to the people that had abused me. He joined the Navy, and we did move away. We had a nice life in California. We lived in a little town called Novato. One day during his work day, he needed something brought to him, and he asked if I could bring it to him for an inspection. So I did. I drove to his ship. It was a beautiful day. I walked on board, and alarms started to go off. I didn't know that my young husband was in the middle of tragically dying in an accident. I was moments from seeing him, and he died. I was 21, and I had a 16-month-old little girl. I had survived so much, and suddenly I was now a widow on top of everything else. I moved back. I was forced to move back to my home state of Indiana, back to the same people that didn't even like me very much, and had committed all of those horrible things against me during my childhood. I became then officially a cycle breaker. So I am a survivor, a widow, and a cycle breaker. I refuse to put one step towards any of the same behaviors that I had been raised. Although I was now alone and trying to figure things out completely on my own, I knew that I would never repeat the same behaviors or treatment. I changed my whole life for my little girl. There's no way that I was going to become what I hated the most. Cycle breakers are strong. They are unusual. And when I became an author and decided to reveal all of it, I've become even stronger. I will no longer keep those secrets. I will forever be an advocate against child abuse. It's intolerable. It is the most vicious behavior that you can enact on a child. So I'm a survivor, I'm a widow, I'm a cycle breaker, and I'm an author. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I'm here with all of you to tell you if I can survive all of that on my own, you can survive whatever you're fighting as well. It's been my pleasure meeting all of you today. Thank you so much for listening. You can find my books on nataliemosleyklenodicbooks.com. Thank you.